Get ready, because what you're about to discover is going to completely change the way you see the most iconic animal in Australia: kangaroos. These creatures that look simple, funny, that hop around like cartoon characters, hide a reality far more impressive, powerful, and surprising than most people ever imagined. Today, you're going to step into a universe where strength, speed, evolution, survival strategies, social behavior, drama, combat, intelligence, and mystery blend together in a unique way. A world where movement is law, where every muscle has a purpose, where even silence has weight, and where every leap tells a story. Welcome to the secret world of kangaroos, the creatures that defy gravity. When we see a kangaroo hopping, it looks simple. A large, muscular creature moving across the desert with long, light, almost dance-like jumps. But behind that movement, there's a biological machine so advanced that no other animal on the planet can reproduce it. The kangaroo doesn't run, it doesn't trot, it doesn't walk long distances. It hops, and that seems natural, but it isn't. It's the result of millions of years of refined evolution that turned its body into one of the most efficient mechanisms nature has ever created. Its legs are so powerful that they can launch the animal more than 9 meters in a single jump. And the most impressive part? The faster it moves, the less energy it uses. That's right. Unlike all other land mammals, which spend more energy the faster they go, the kangaroo does the opposite. Its body works like an advanced force recycling system. With each jump, the tendons in its legs stretch and store elastic energy, like a living spring, and that energy is released again on the next push. It's as if the kangaroo had biological shock absorbers designed to generate movement without wasting unnecessary calories. That's why it can travel long distances without getting tired. That's why it can survive in harsh desert environments. And that's why, even though it looks graceful and light when it hops, it's one of the toughest creatures on the planet. But its physical ability isn't the whole story. Because behind those jumps, there's something even more extraordinary: the most powerful muscle in the animal kingdom. What would you think if I told you that a kangaroo's tail is pretty much an extra leg? Yes, that thick, heavy tail, which looks like it only provides balance, is actually a functional limb. Its strength is so absurd that an adult kangaroo can support its entire weight on it, lift both legs off the ground, use the tail as a pivot for strikes, push its body forward, stabilize its jumps, and even defend itself from predators. Scientists have already stated, the kangaroo's tail is the most important and strongest muscle, proportionally to body size, of any large terrestrial mammal. Think about it. The tail of an adult kangaroo could easily support the weight of a grown human sitting on it. And that's no exaggeration. It's pure biology. And when you combine that incredibly powerful tail with legs that work like springs, you get an animal that moves with the efficiency of an advanced engineering machine. But anyone who thinks kangaroo strength exists only for jumping is very wrong, because that strength also exists for fighting. And when they fight, the entire desert seems to tremble. The natural ring, kangaroo battles. Imagine two muscular giants, broad chest, defined biceps, strong shoulders, rigid, elegant posture like ancient warriors. Now imagine those two natural athletes staring at each other in silence. Under the scorching Australian sun, male kangaroo fights are so dramatic, so choreographed, so intense, that they look like a mixture of martial arts and professional boxing. The males rise up on their hind legs, use their tail as support, and strike with powerful blows from their front paws, blows strong enough to knock an opponent to the ground with ease. And when they need maximum strength, kangaroos unleash their most feared move, the double kick. For this, the male leans entirely on its tail, leans its body backward, and launches both legs at once, aiming for the opponent's chest or belly. The power of this strike is so violent that it can break ribs, knock down a full-grown male, and even scare off predators like dingoes. Battles can last minutes or hours. Sometimes a fight only ends when one of them is completely exhausted. Other times, it ends simply when one of them gives up. But why? Why do they fight with such intensity? For one simple reason: power. In kangaroo groups, there is a complex social system based on hierarchy, and the dominant male, called the boomer, is the one who gets access to females during the breeding season. Being number one means passing on your genes, and in such a competitive world, that's a matter of evolutionary survival. But while males fight for dominance, females hide one of the most fascinating secrets in nature: the secret biological superpower of females, the paused embryo. Imagine if you could get pregnant, pause the pregnancy, wait months, and then unpause it whenever it was convenient. Sounds like science fiction, right? But for female kangaroos, that's just Tuesday. Females possess a rare superpower in the animal kingdom called embryonic diapause. When she becomes pregnant, the female can simply place the embryo's development on hold indefinitely until environmental conditions are favorable. If rainfall is low, if food is scarce, or if she already has a young joey in her pouch, she pauses the pregnancy. And when things improve, she restarts it. The most amazing part? A single female can have a large joey in the pouch, a newborn tiny joey nursing internally, and another embryo paused and waiting its turn. All at the same time. It's as if she were a multi-layered biological system, always ready to guarantee the survival of the species, even in harsh conditions. And that's exactly what makes kangaroos so successful on a continent as unpredictable as Australia. But you haven't seen anything yet, because now we enter the most astonishing chapter of all, the most remarkable birth in the animal kingdom. When a kangaroo is born, it measures only 2 to 3 centimeters. It's smaller than a gumdrop, smaller than your pinky finger, blind, hairless, fragile, red, and completely helpless. And yet, it must climb on its own. That's right. At birth, the joey receives no help. It uses its tiny front paws, drags its own body through the mother's fur, and journeys all the way to the pouch. A massive journey for such a tiny being. And this entire process happens purely by instinct. Upon reaching the pouch, it finds one of 4 teats. Each teat provides a different type of milk, tailored to the joey's stage of development. And there, the baby will stay for months, growing, strengthening, opening its eyes, testing its legs, peeking at the world for the first time, until one day, it decides to leave, to take the first hop, to feel the warm air of the savannah. But even after leaving the pouch, it continues returning, like a child returning home, for safety, for food, for comfort. Kangaroo motherhood is one of the most complex, efficient, and beautiful systems on Earth. But like any family, there is drama. Society, politics, and animal drama. Although they seem simple and calm, kangaroos live in groups, called mobs, that function like small societies. Within each mob, there are hierarchy, territorial disputes, alliances, rivalries, competition for females, collective protection, and even surprising cooperation at times. The dominant male usually controls the group. Females arrange themselves around him. Young males learn by watching adults. And when a new male challenges the leader, the fight can completely reshape the social order. It's a complex, dynamic, living system. And all of this happens while they roam across the vastness of Australia, searching for food, water, and safety. But even with such intense social lives, the story of kangaroos doesn't end here. Because if a creature mixes strength, speed, resilience, mystery, advanced motherhood, and unique behavior, that creature also holds a surprising past. The Age of Giants, The kangaroos you never knew existed thousands of years ago, Australia was home to a stunning megafauna. And among those creatures lived giant kangaroos, much larger than any kangaroo alive today. We're talking about animals that could exceed 3 meters in height, weigh over 200 kilograms, move differently from modern kangaroos, dominate huge regions of the continent. The most intriguing part is that some of these giant species didn't hop. They likely walked in long strides, using their tails as support, like true prehistoric beasts. These giants ruled Australia for hundreds of thousands of years until they mysteriously vanished, likely due to climate shifts and human impact. But their legacy remains in the muscles, in the jumps, in the unique biology of modern kangaroos. They are, in many ways, the modern descendants of an ancient and powerful lineage. Little-known facts about kangaroos. To understand the greatness of these animals, let's dive into some surprising facts. They cannot walk backward. Their legs and tail make the movement physically impossible. They can reach 70 km/h in short bursts, faster than many cars in city traffic. They are excellent swimmers and use water to escape predators. The tail holds up to 25% of their total muscle mass, a true biological powerhouse. Their bite is weak, their punches are not. Their front paws can cause deep cuts. If threatened, they flee, but if cornered, they fight, and a kick can be fatal. During harsh droughts, they survive on dry grass and tough leaves, expertly adapted to Australia's extreme climate. Males darken when they reach peak strength, a visual signal of power and maturity. Some kangaroos live in forests, deserts, and even cold regions, far more versatile than they appear. Their hopping is the most efficient form of locomotion ever evolved by a mammal, and that's why they survived where so many others did not. Kangaroos and humans, a complex relationship. Even though they're a cultural symbol of Australia, kangaroos also have a complicated relationship with humans. In rural areas, they're considered pests. In cities, they sometimes appear near highways. In nature reserves, they are protected and studied. But one thing is certain, their presence is deep, ancestral, symbolic. They appear in Aboriginal art, traditional stories, the collective identity, the national image. And yet, few truly understand how extraordinary they are. The truth, few people realize. The kangaroo is a masterpiece of evolution, a master of movement, a natural athlete, a symbol of strength and resilience, an animal that combines extraordinary physical ability, unique biology, advanced motherhood, complex social behavior, prehistoric heritage, extreme endurance, and undeniable elegance. They're not just the animals that hop, they are survivors, warriors, natural engineers, dedicated mothers, fighters, runners, swimmers, creatures that defy our expectations and reveal the raw power of life. And that's why kangaroos continue to fascinate, surprise, and inspire generation after generation. They are a reminder that the planet is full of extraordinary stories. For those who know how to look a little closer, if you enjoyed learning about this incredible animal, turn on notifications, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned. Every day, a new curiosity about a different animal awaits you.